Hello, wonderful, magnificent art students. It's your art teacher again, Miss Freels, with another weekly art lesson. Hey, do you like robots? I know I do, and there's so many robots, right, in this world. So many robots that have so many different functions and so many different purposes. This week in our art lesson, we're going to discover a new way of learning and teaching called STEAM. And we are going to understand how sometimes it's better for us to learn when we mix some different subjects together to make our learning more meaningful. The word STEAM stands for S, science, T, technology, E, engineering, A, arts, and M, mathematics. And in this week's lesson, we're going to be taking a look at some fun robots. We are going to be thinking about designing our own robots, having fun, making a fun drawing of a robot, and then you will get the chance to later write about your robot and its purpose, and maybe even make a more three-dimensional model of your robot. So, welcome to week 22, Design Your Own Robot. All right, let's take a little look more into what this whole STEAM thing even means and why is it important. Let's go. STEAM education is an approach to learning and teaching that uses science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics as ways to help guide student inquiry, help them try new things, talk about new things, and have them use critical thinking skills.
Technology.
It's a way of involving all of these disciplines in a more meaningful way. Kind of like if you want to design or invent something, you sort of have to think of a plan first. You have to test it out, sometimes make calculations and measurements. Sometimes you have to build a plan or draw a plan or draw a model or create a model until you figure out your idea. It's kind of a way of learning that really puts the power into the hands of the children instead of just the teacher. It's a way for kids to sort of figure things out on their own.
Mathematics.
STEAM teaching and learning is cool because we get to mix subject matters, work together, collaborate, try new things, make mistakes, and try again. Thank you to fun2discover.com for this awesome YouTube video. Now, because I'm an artist, just like all of you, I love to integrate art into anything I learn. Like if I'm learning something about science, I love to make like a drawing of it. I'll maybe sketch it in a notebook. If I am learning about math, sometimes it's best for me as a visual and artistic learner to make like little pictures to help me understand math better. That's kind of what STEAM is. It's like mixing two or more of those subject areas together so that we can understand things better in our own brains. We're all different, right? Some of you might really, really like science. Some of you might really like art or engineering. And when we get to have a chance to sort of mix the different subjects up, it can create a way better learning experience for all of us. Now, today in our art lesson, we are just going to play around and create our own robot drawing. And I have a fun game for us to play to do that. But later, I am going to give you some ideas on how you could take that silly robot drawing that we're going to create and maybe go an extra step. Maybe after you draw and design your own robot, maybe after you have a chance to write about what its purpose is, what its job is, maybe you can actually find some materials around your house and actually try to build a robot, maybe even make it move or make it do something really cool. So for this week's art lesson, because many of you simply just have paper and pencils at home, we're just gonna have a fun game, be silly, and draw our own robot. And then I'll give you some ideas at the end of class on what you could do next to involve this sort of STEAM approach to learning. Okay? I'm ready. Let's go. Yay, let's have some fun and create a robot with a game in mind. Now, in order to play this game, I'm going to be using a dice, okay? And I will have this whole game sheet posted for you on your Google Classroom page so you can try it again and you can play with your family or your friends. But for now, let me just tell you how we're going to do this, okay? So we are going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And depending on what kind of number we get on our dice, it's going to determine what kind of body we will create for our robot, what kind of head we will create for our robot, what kind of arms, and what kind of legs. This game is so much fun because you can literally do it so many times, and every time you roll the dice, you are going to be creating a unique robot. What a fun activity to learn how to draw a robot. So I will just go ahead and get started, and as we go, you'll sort of understand how this game is played. And a big shout out to Party in the Art Room on Teachers Pay Teachers, which inspired me to create my own version of design a robot. So let's get started. The first roll, I always start by practicing on my whiteboard. You can go to paper, it's totally up to you. For those of you who watch my videos, Miss Freels always starts on a whiteboard when we do drawing activities. Why? Because it's so easy to erase my mistakes. I can start over again with no stress, no frustration. And then later when I draw my robot or whatever I'm drawing, then that's when I take a piece of paper and that's when I draw the same thing on a piece of paper and then I add colors and details. All right, let's get right to it. So my first roll is going to determine what kind of body my robot will have. I'll move that a little bit. My light isn't so great, I apologize. So watch, I'm just gonna roll my dice. So I got a 3. So on my first roll, I go down to 3 and the body of my robot is going to be this shape. So think about it, as artists, we sort of have to plan ahead of time. And if I want to leave room for let me move my whiteboard down a little bit. I have my whiteboard vertical, I have it tall. If I want to leave room for the head and the legs, I'm basically going to be making my body right in the middle of my whiteboard, right? Or my paper. So this was the body shape. And don't worry, we can add details later. So it looks kind of like, almost like half of an oval, right? Almost like a rainbow shape body. Like that. And then a straight base on the bottom. With a little line like this. And I'm already imagining, like, when I add details to my robot, I'm going to add buttons and maybe a screen and things like that. Now, on my roll number 2, I'm going to roll to see what kind of head my robot will have. So let's just keep going, and you'll totally understand this game as we go. A 2. So let's find the 2 on the dice. Let's move over to the head, because remember, we're on roll number 2. Look at this head. It's so cute. Now, we are also integrating mathematics when we're drawing our robots because basically robots are made out of shapes. Check out the shape of the robot's head. A rectangle, a horizontal rectangle. Check out the shape of the robot's neck. A vertical rectangle. So we can start with the neck or we can start with the head. I'm going to start with the head. A horizontal rectangle with a vertical rectangle neck. Circle eyes, you can make them the same size, you can make them different sizes. It's up to you. In this example, they're a little bit different. So I'm going to stick with that. A kind of larger circle with a small pupil and a smaller circle with a small pupil. I notice a little smile if your robot's happy. Turn it upside down if he has a frown. I notice little like square or rectangular shapes on the side. I'm looking at this one, remember? And I'm looking at lines with circles at the top. I see 3. You can totally copy along with me. Of course, if you have your own ideas. You're never wrong in art class, remember? You can just be like, no, Miss Freels, I want to draw stars or hearts instead of circles. Do it. Do it. All right, arms. Roll number 3 is going to determine what kind of arms our robot has. What kind of arms it has. So let's roll our dice. 1, the arms. So they look kind of like they're going to start off with an upside down L. And then it's, hey, it's like the same shape as the body, except for smaller. A rainbow shape with a flat base, a line on the top like this, and if you want, you can add little lines for the fingers. Totally up to you. Oh, he's so cute, right? All right, the last roll is going to determine the legs. Let's roll our dice. 5. So let me put this in better light. We find the 5 on the dice. We go over to the last column because that's our legs. And oh my gosh, we are like repeating the same sort of half oval shape. But let's start. I see long, skinny rectangles. I see some squares. I see half ovals and squares, right? Shapes, just like in math. So let's go ahead and start with the 2 legs. I see 2 long, skinny rectangles. I see 2 rectangles or squares. I meant to do squares. They kind of look more like rectangles. And I see the same shape of the body, like half of an oval for the feet. Rainbow shape, flat base, rainbow shape, flat base. And I see square toes. Oh my goodness. For our first robot, how cute is that? Now for my YouTubers, you can also press pause right now. I'll move my hand out of the way. And if you press pause, you can have this up on your screen and play this game at home. Try it. Try it with your mom. Try it with your dad. Try it with your brother or your sister, or just try it again all by yourself using different roles. Like for example, the next time I roll, I'm probably not going to get the exact same robot as I did before. So take your time and press pause and try this again. And remember, think about what the job of your robot is. You can write about it. You can say, my robot's job is to, for example, help rake the leaves in my yard, or help clean up the dog poo. That would be cool, right? So think about the job of your robot. Try this game again. I'm going to go ahead and get my piece of paper and copy my robot, and then give you some ideas of what you can do next. Yay, I drew my robot on a piece of paper. I used a Sharpie to make a nice crisp outline, and now I'm thinking, what can I do next? I could use markers, I could use crayons or colored pencils to color in my robot. But let me show you some other things that you could do. Could you build a robot out of construction paper, cutting out simple shapes to build a unique robot? You can even use that drawing game that I provided you to make your robot. How about a robot with boxes around the house or toilet paper tubes? How about old bottle caps or old lids for knobs and buttons. Raid your recycling bin. Paper towel tubes work, old aluminum cans, pieces of foil, construction paper, old plastic cups. How about just some cute paper puppet robots? Look at these, they're so cute, like the paper puppets we made weeks ago. Whatever kind of robot you make, remember the word STEAM: science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And whatever you do, have so much fun creating your own unique robot this week. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. We will see you soon. Bye.